Yo. So, I tried making this video already. Didn't have any marijuana. And, yeah. I didn't like it. I don't like going into heavy questions sober. It's just too uncomfortable. But anyway, a buddy of mine wanted to, see me talk about the predator poachers situation. And I've peripherally knew about it. I didn't keep up with it. I've been pretty busy the last couple months. So I looked into it a bit. It seems like a lot of people have covered it already. So I'm not really here to be morally condemning to anyone. I just like assessing things and describing them and then having opinions, and sometimes I get animate. And yeah, other than that, though, I don't know, whatever. But since so many people have already kind of just been like, hey, they're both bad people, whatever. I'm gonna try to go into the bigger questions that are brought up by the whole situation. To begin with, I'll describe the situation. Basically, I guess a famous guy. I don't know what he was famous for, either streaming or rapping or something. He got busted trying to hook up with children. He got catfished into it, and they recorded a video and essentially, released it, putting it out that, hey, this famous guy is a pedo. And everyone was like, yeah, okay, that's bad pedo person. And then they looked into the person who caught him and realized he was a racist and an edgelord and just a douchebag in general. And the way that he went about the whole To Catch a Predator type deal was not always appropriate or productive to the cause of actually catching pedophiles, which is actually a problem with a lot of the YouTube versions of To Catch a Predator, because they'll either just break the law that they're trying to catch them doing by using real children to catfish them, which at that point you're literally you're breaking a law doing that, or they'll somehow obtain child porn from them, and then it's okay, now you have child porn shit. If you don't do it right, there's certain laws you can accidentally break trying to do that. Or they'll get in the way of a case that's already in procedure with police and kind of fuck up the chances of the police catching them. Or after they get embarrassed publicly, one, just because they got embarrassed publicly doesn't mean the police can then act, and then they will change their behavior up, making it a lot harder to be caught by police, because usually police use similar tactics as anyone else. So they get wiser to the methods of catching pedophiles, making them harder to catch. And I'm not saying pedophiles shouldn't be embarrassed in Walmart, but I don't think that should supersede them going to prison. You know what I mean? That's part of this discussion, is what I want to talk about. Is it the question that can a bad person do a good thing seems irrelevant, because I don't really think this is a good thing to do. I don't think YouTubers really should be doing this. I don't think, here's the thing, with Chris Hansen, arguably the dude who made this a thing, started it, whatever. he would work with the cops in a way that I think didn't ruin the case, actually helped them. So there's ways of doing it. I think you just have to get in contact with like the local police and work with them if that's something you're willing to do. I don't know. But I mean, it's not impossible to do it in a way that is productive to actually getting pedophiles off the street. And I'm not for pedophiles on the street by any means. So any attempt to get them off the street, sure. I mean, embarrass them if you want. I don't care. It's just like when it becomes literally counterproductive to the end goal of getting pedophiles off the street. You know what I mean? So yeah, my general take on it is that YouTubers shouldn't be doing the To Catch a Predator content. It's just, it seems more counterproductive than productive for the actual reason that they would be doing it, assuming that they are doing it for the right reason. Unfortunately, with this last case, the Predator Poachers, it was more of just an attention thing, which unfortunately is a big reason why YouTubers do it too, and then also why they do the method that they do, because it's like the most dramatic way. You can film them being embarrassed in Walmart. You can't really film them in a police station and all that shit. I guess, like, well, there's the interrogation footage, but you can't really. I guess you can make a YouTube channel. JCS does that. I don't know. They're just being lazy. Fucking. But no, it's just like people do what gets the most attention on YouTube. And unfortunately, some of them are more concerned with their views than how many pedophiles are actually out there. So I would say we should definitely not do that anymore. We should definitely try to stop that if it's not done properly. People who do it improperly should be called out for being counterproductive to the cause of, yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm repeating myself on that end. Other than that, I don't know if there's much else to say. I mean, what's the proper way to handle it? I mean, yeah, the Chris Hansen way. If you are determined to do the To Catch a Predator, film them in the moment thing, you have to work with police on that end. If you just want to put it out to society that someone is a pedophile, you can do that without ruining a case. I'm sure there's ways you can just leak conversations from catfishing or whatever, get like testimony from people who have been abused by them and all that, because I can understand like just putting the word out there so that people would be more aware and all that shit. Like that can do something too and be helpful and possibly take them off of whatever forum or platform that they are misusing to abuse children. And yeah, so like there's ways you can like be productive to the idea of stopping pedophiles doing pedophile shit. I mean, there's always certain options that I'm not legally allowed to say you can take, but I would say that's only if it's personal. Other than that, let's chill. Why are y'all putting ideas? I don't even have a chat yet, so this is all me. These are all my ideas. Yeah. So essentially, just cut it out, YouTube. You're ruining things again. I don't know. It happens. But yeah, pedophiles are bad. People who accidentally help pedophiles, I mean, you're still kind of bad, but I understand you probably have good motives. Usually, it's just not the guys who started this specific conversation. Also, in the, I guess, side part of the conversation, people who we need to stop letting people who are just desperate for attention get attention. Like, it's the most aggravating fucking thing in the world to see just someone who is driven by their ego to the extent of literally to the point of that person. Like, if you research them at all, like, he's just a little edgelord that basically talked like every 13-year-old with an Xbox talked. Every fucking Modern Warfare 2 kid. And it was like, yeah, we all kind of grew up, and we can all admit now we were all not cool for saying some of the shit we said on Xbox back then. And that I don't know. I'm not excusing it, but we were 13-year-olds with a fucking anonymous screen and no way of, like, having to own up to it. And that doesn't justify it, but, like, you're a grown-ass adult who's filming your face and putting it on the internet. And not only that, like, we were Xbox kids fucking with other Xbox kids. You're an adult. Like, okay, let me give, like, examples, too, because this guy, he, like, called up, like, a BLM hotline and just started dropping, like, the N-word with a hard R just to be provocative. He himself has made, like, rapey jokes, and, like, certain jokes are one thing, but, like, the jokes that he had made were a little just harassy. Like, there's a difference between joking about something and, like, threatening to do something in a joking way. You know what I mean? Like, there's a clear difference in what you're implying. I'm trying to remember what else. One of the other To Catch a Predator things he did or whatever, he, like, started making weird Jew jokes, like anti-Semitic shit. He, like, made the pedophile wear a shirt that just said "I eat ass," or something like that. I don't know if that was exactly what it said, but it was just something, like, weird that wasn't even related to being a pedophile. And he kind of missed the point of, like, the point is to get pedophiles off the street, not just embarrass people with no repercussions. You know what I mean? It's not an excuse to lower ourselves, but it's an attempt to raise the standard of society. And that's a bit more deontological than I usually am. Usually people's motives aren't the most important, but when it's just, like, a want for attention and a want to be a bad person with no repercussions, it does seem like, I don't know, it's not helpful to do or allow either. Yeah, like, so essentially, it's just a shit show. I looked into it. I tried to do as much research as I can. I just got angry. And it's like, alright, this guy doesn't need to be on the internet. Even if it's like, even if we're not talking about that situation, everything before that is just, why did he have enough attention to do anything to begin with? And that's part of the problem with society, is, like, we give attention to people who really don't deserve it. It's just whoever asks for it the most, which unfortunately are the people who usually deserve it the least. The way talent works Alright, nah, I'm not going to get on that pretentious note, but I guess I'll sum it up. The more time you spend trying to convince people that you're talented, the less time you'll spend actually becoming talented. Work on your craft, not how people perceive you. Because if it's good, people will, realize you're good anyway. But if you're just saying, give me attention because I want it, I don't know. Those kind of people don't deserve attention to me. They're the most annoying people in existence, in my opinion. And they do have the potential of being harmful. They do have the potential of being counterproductive. But mostly they're just annoying assholes who don't really need to, be acknowledged by society. But yeah, kind of short. I should have played some music. Oh well. If, I do want to say, if you guys, have anything to add to the conversation, you disagree with me, you think there's something I could have added, something I missed out on, some important details, go ahead and, I'm not going to say, comment for, whatever, just say whatever you want, and I will reply. I like talking to people about shit. I like, heavy, deep conversations, and I'm more than willing to, sit there and talk to people. Just, say your opinion, and I will gladly, talk to you and see what's up. If I agree with you, I'll be like, hey, you're a cool guy, let's be best friends forever. If I disagree with you, I'll be like, hey, you're a piece of shit, and here's why. Nah, it'll be civil. I'm a pretty civil guy. As long as you're not insulting me or being like a hate-fueled, horrible person, I'm pretty polite. But other than that, yeah.